in steel structure, you know that members are consist of tension, compression, then bracing members, uh, then column, beam. So different type of members are used in steel structure. So now, so here I am going to discuss tension member used in steel structure and how the tension members are designed, uh, that I am going to explain. Now the what is tensile force? So in a member, if two force is applied in opposite direction and it is away from the end, if the forces are applied away from the end, so it will create a tensile forces, it will develop tensile stresses in a member. So due to tensile forces, what happened, the elongation took place. So this is a basically pulling force. Or in compression, so what type of forces are applied? So that is a compressive force or pushing force. So due to this force, the member is compressed or shortened. So now in tension member, you see that uh, a structural member subjected to pulling force applied its end is called tension member. So when the tensile forces or the forces which is acting outward from the end, and it will create a tensile forces and create a tensile stresses in a member. So those members are called tension member, and due to this force the elongation took place. Next we discuss the what are the application of tension member. So different, so I have said that in steel structure different members are used, different members are used depending on forces, what forces applied. So due to based on nature of forces, the are members have different stresses developed. So if the tensile stresses is developed, then those members are called tension member. Now you see that this is a truss. Now the bottommost member is called tie member. So generally these members are in tension, whereas this top member are in compression, and the diagonal members are in tension or compression. Okay, so if one member is tension, then another member is tension. So in this way the diagonal members have so here you see that in truss the all members are uh, axial loaded member, or axial stresses are developed either tension or compression. So the bottommost, so this one is the bottommost member. So bottommost member uh, is called tie member, and where, so in this member the tensile stresses is developed, so that's why these members are called tensor member. Now you see that this is a gable, this is a bracing members are used. So this is a portal frame, so where the diagonal members are connected. uh, so these diagonal members are called uh, bracing. So due to the bracing members are used. So bracing are generally the axially loaded member, so either in tension or compression. So bracing member uh, either tension or compression. So generally you see that uh, due to this forces, I mean the sway took place. Sway means the lateral deformation. Okay, due to this lateral forces, you see that the sway happened. Okay, now this point, now it try to move in this direction, but due to this due to this bracing member, so bracing member transfer forces to the support. So that's why here the tensile forces are induced. So it is going to move in this direction, so the tensile forces are induced in this member. Similarly, and many application in steel structures, the tensor member has many application in steel structures. We see that bridge deck. Now we see that this is a bridge where this bridge deck is supported by the hanger bar. Well, these hanger bars are used. This hanger bar transfer forces to this main cable. So this member are also in tension because the forces, the tensile forces are transferred to this member, and finally it transferred to the support, to the foundation. So in this problem, in this type of structure, the steel water stack, this rope are in tension, and you see that these are the diagonal members. So diagonal member either tension or compression. This is a bottom tie member. So bottom tie member are always in tension. So this member is also in tension. Well, so these members are in compression, the rafter. So you see that the many application of tensor member. So you have to understand how the members are designed for tensile forces and what type of sections are used, so that you must understand. Okay, so generally in truss the tensor members are used. In bracing the tensor members are used. The sag rod are used in steel factory set. The sag rod are used to prevent the sagness of the members. So this member are also in tensor member. So you see that different application of tensor member. Now you know that different sections are used because in tensile member. So this is a steel structure. So generally in truss, in case of truss, the angle sections are used. Also in bracing, it may be diagonal bracing or X bracing. So in X bracing, the one member in tension, another member in compression. Okay, so in this way the force is transferred, and it will prevent the lateral forces. The bracing, the function of bracing is to prevent the lateral forces, and also it minimize the sway, and also it increase the stiffness of the member, so that it resists the load effectively. Angle sections are used in truss member. Hollow circular section, this type of section, hollow circular section are also used in tensor member. So in to design the tensile member, you have to determine, you have to find out the net sectional area. So I have now I am going to discuss the for different bolting connection. So how the net area is calculated. So why the net area is required? Because you see that, so this is a plate, and the two plates are joined by bolting, and due to bolting, so to use the bolt, you have to make a hole on plate. So due to the presence of hole, the area of the plate is reduced. Okay, so as the area of plate is reduced, then the area is also reduced, so the strength is also reduced. So the net area you have to calculate. And one thing you note, that in welding connection there is no so the full area of the plate is considered. Okay, only the bolting connection, the net area you have to consider. Now in chain bolting pattern, if plate size is, so here the one example has given to find the net area and gross area. So if plate size is 175 into 10 mm, 175 is the width of plate and 10 is the thickness of the plate, and we are using the M16 bolt. So diameter of the bolt is 16 mm. So hence the diameter of hole is how much? So leave the clearance, okay, leave the clearance to insert the hole, insert the bolt. So the clearance is 2 mm as per code. Code said that for 16 mm dia the 2 mm you have to, the clearance you have to leave. So the 2 mm clearance are used. So the finally the hole diameter is how much? That is 18 mm. And here how many bolts are used? 3 bolts are used. So n equal to 3. Width of plate is given. So this is 175 mm. Thickness 10. So the net area of the plate is how much? So if the plate is failed due to tension, then you see that along this line the failure took place. Okay, along this line the rupture took place. So in this way the tensile force is applied. So you see that the tensile force is applied, the pulling forces, and due to these forces the along this line the rupture occurred. Okay, rupture took place along this line. So net area of the plate is how much? B is the width of plate. So the formulae important to find the net area of the plate for chain bolting pattern. So which is the B is the width of plate minus n is the number of bolt used, and dh is the diameter of hole into t to get the area of the net area of the plate. Now we see that, so this is 1210 square millimeter. Okay, so 3 number of bolts are used, and diameter of hole is 18 into thickness of plate is 10. So the area, net area is 1210 square millimeter. And where is the if the gross area, if I consider, then without hole, so gross area you have to calculate, means the holes are not considered. So the full plate area has to be taken. Original plate is considered. So no hole are, the whole area, no hole is made on plate. So the plate strength, the solid plate strength is 175 into 10, 1750. So you see that due to presence of hole, due to the to make the connection, the holes you have to make hole on plate. So due to the presence of hole, the net area is reduced, and so the strength is also reduced. Okay, the strength is reduced. So this is the actual strength of member, actual strength of plate without hole, and this net area after bolting, the net area you have to consider to find the tensile strength of the, as the sectional as the area is reduced. Now another type of bolting pattern, so that is a zigzag bolting pattern. If the bolt are placed in a zigzag pattern, zigzag form, then the such bolting pattern are called zigzag bolting pattern. So the advantage of zigzag bolting pattern, we are getting the more area than chain bolting. So the strength of zigzag bolting is more than chain bolting. So as the net area is increased. Okay, as the net area is increased, so that's why we are getting the more area, and more area means the more strain, we are getting the more. So that's why the zigzag bolting pattern is more efficient than chain bolting. Now how we calculate the net area? So similarly, B is the width of plate, so this is B. N is the number of bolt used to make connection, and D is the DH, D suffix H is the diameter of hole, plus this value you have to add. Okay, this is called stagger correction, where P is the piece distance, this is piece distance, the distance measured in the direction of force, distance center to center distance of the two consecutive bolt. And similarly the zigzag G gauge distance is the center to center distance of the bolt, the consecutive distance between the two bolts in the perpendicular direction of the forces. Okay, so we see that, that's why the G is the, this one is the G. So these things we have already explained in bolting connections. So you go through this lecture and learn properly how the zigzag in zigzag bolting pattern, how the area is calculated, and what is the stagger correction. Okay, that you have to use for zigzag bolting pattern. So this is the P I square by 4G. So this provision given in IS 800/2007, page number 33 at figure 5. Now in this slide we have seen that two type of bolting pattern we have considered. One is chain bolting, another is stagger or zigzag bolting, and we compare these two type of bolting pattern, and we see that how the failure occur and how we calculate the net area of the plate for chain bolting and zigzag bolting, and which one is more efficient, that I have already explained which pattern are efficient and why, that already I have explained. So you see the figures. So look at this figure 1, chain bolting. Now in chain bolting, you see that along this line failure took place. So you see that this plate is failed due to tension. So in this way the tensile force is acting, and due to this tensile forces the rupture occur along this line. So one is the failure path. Okay, so the net sectional area of the plate member is obtained. So how we get the net area of the plate? By deducting the area of holes from the gross sectional area of plate. For chain bolting, the net area is B is the width of plate minus N number of bolts used for connection. DH is the diameter of the hole, and T is the thickness of the plate. Next, if the bolts are arranged in zigzag or staggered fashion, then efficiency or strength is increased. So you see that if the bolt are arranged in a zigzag pattern, so you can verify. So you see that the bolt are the connections are done by using the zigzag bolting pattern. Okay, using zigzag bolting pattern the corrections are made. Now the failure occur either, so you see that different possibility of failures. It may fail along this line. Okay, so along this line may rupture occur, so we don't know, so you have to find which path is uh, which path is the failure path, that you have to find out. Or it may fail along this line. Okay, you see that along this line it may fail. So if it fail along this line, then you see that only one bolt area you have to deduct from the width of plate. One plate area, one bolt hole area you have to deduct, and if it fail along this line, then you have to deduct 2 bolt and one staggered correction you have to make. Okay, the staggered correction is p square by 4g. Okay, that you have to add, and you find the net area of these two net area of path 2 and another failure path 2 3. Okay, and which one we have to consider to calculate the net area. Okay, the answer is the path which give the minimum area, so that will it will be your critical path. It is the critical path, and this critical path you have to consider, and along critical path the net area has to be calculated, and this net area used to find the tensile capacity of the plate. Now you see that here I have explained, I have described how the failure, what is failure path. In figure 1, failure occurred along 1 line. As I have said, along 1 line it may fail, whereas in figure 2 failure occurred either 2 so along this line it may fail, or it may fail either 2 3 line. Now the question is, which path is failure path? So which one is the, so this is here the 2 possible failure path. So which one is the failure path? Because of when the failure occur, only along 1 line it will fail. So you need to find out the critical path. So critical path means the path which has minimum net sectional area is called critical path. The path which has minimum net area is called critical path. Now the net critical path area is used to obtain design tensile strength. So as I have said that critical path will be considered to obtain design capacity of the plate. Next, the minimum net area has to be considered to determine the strength of member. Next, I am going to discuss different type of failure occur due to tensile load, and what are the different failures, and using the failure criteria we find the tensile capacity of the member. So the failure may occur due to cross section yielding. Tensile failure may occur due to cross section yielding. So when the cross section yielding failure occur, so that time the gross area has to be considered. So when member fail without hole, so without hole means the welding correction. Okay, so gross section yielding is considered in welding connection. Okay, so next, the design strength of tensile member is how much? It is given in clause number 6.2, page number 32. The formula used, T dg is equal to Ag into Fy by gamma m0, where gamma m0 is the partial factor of safety of material, Ag is the gross area, and this point you note the yield stress is considered. Okay, when the cross section yielding took place, so yield stress are taken. Now the net section rupture, how the net section rupture occur? So I mean the in bolting connection, net sectional area you have to consider, and rupture take place. I mean the net section rupture will take place. So design capacity of tensile capacity of the member is how much for net section rupture? So this is bolting connection. This formula used for bolting. Well, now you see that this is design tensile strength of member, which is 0.9 into An. An is the net area of the members. Fu is the ultimate tensile strength of plate, and gamma m1 is the partial factor of safety for at ultimate stress, where N is the net area. Check the reference. So here you see that in IS 800/2007, in clause number 6.3.1, page number 30, on page number 32, this formula is given. Okay. So here you see that a tension member is often connected to main or other member by bolt or welds. When members is joined by bolt, cross sectional area is reduced due to presence of hole, and net area is considered. So net area rupture takes place. So you see that when member is joined by bolt, cross sectional area is reduced because due to presence of hole, and net area is taken, and also the net rupture takes place. So the cross section yielding took place for welding case, and net section rupture takes place for bolting case. Now the another type of failure may occur. So that is block shear failure. Well, when so in block shear failure, when the connection is failed as a whole, so that time the failure is called block shear failure. So you see that here the tensile force is applied, and due to tensile forces, maybe the block shear failure may took place. Okay, so here here you see that this is one plane we have considered, and here the tensile failure on one plane, and another plane is, this plane is called the shear plane. Okay, you see that this is a tension area and this is shear area. That a segment of block of material at end of member shear out due to possible use of high bearing strength of the steel and high strength bolts. So block shear failure is a device that combines tensile failure on one plane and shear failure on a perpendicular plane. In welding connection, such type of failure frequently happen. So in welding connection, this type of failure frequently happen, and you see that when as a whole the connection is failed, so this is a tension area and this is a shear area. So one having the shear area, shear failure, another have the tensile failure. So and this portion is pull out from the connection due to tensile forces. So this type of failure may occur. This portion is shear out from the connection, and this failure is called here not as here it is not here the bolting single bolt are not failed, plate are not failed. Here as a whole the connection is failed. Okay. This portion is tear out from the connection. So this plane is tensile area and this plane is shear area. Now you see that the strength, the block shear strength of a connection shall be taken as smaller of this. Here the TDV means the design tensile strength of block shear is equal to AVG. AVG is the minimum gross and net area of the shear along bolt line. So along bolt line, the shear plane, that you have to calculate the minimum gross area and net area. So net area means the you have to the whole area you have to reduce from the gross area to get the net area. Now the gross area means the whole without hole the area. The actual plate area is considered as a gross area. So minimum gross area and net area of the shear along bolt line parallel to external forces respectively 1, 2 and 3, 4 as shown in figure 7a and 1, 2 as shown in figure, and similarly ATG and TL. So this area has to be considered tensile area, minimum gross and net area you have to consider. Fu and Fi is the yield stress of material, and Fu is the ultimate stress of the material. So using this formulae and the minimum you have to provide it. So the for two you have to compute the block shear strength as well as tensile capacity of the section, and minimum you have to provide. Okay. So these two formulae you have to you use these two formulae, and minimum is the block shear strength. And you see that due to block shear failure, the tension area one plane having the shear failure occur and another plane having the tensile failure occur. So the shear area and tensile area are used to find the design capacity of the bolt. So these are the shear area, and this portion is tear out, okay, due to block shear. So here the reference given IS 800/2007, clause number 6.4.1. See the figure 7. So where the diagrams are given to understand the block shear, how the block shear failure will occur, and page number given 33 and 34. On 33 and 34, these provisions are given. Note, design strength is the minimum of gross section yielding, net section rupture and block shear strength. So the to find the design tensile capacity of the member is you have to determine the gross section yielding strength. Also you have to find out the net section rupture strength, and also you have to find out the block shear strength. So and the minimum is considered as a design tensile capacity of the member. So minimum you have to use to determine the tensile capacity of the member. So here you see that all the codal provisions are given to design the tensile member. Now the So design tensile capacity of the plate, which is denoted by T suffix Dn. Design tensile capacity, nominal design tensile capacity of the plate. Now we see that joint may fail due to tensile failure of plate. Hence, tensile capacity of plate has to be calculated while calculating the bolt strength of the joint. Hence, tensile strength of plate is obtained using Codal formulae, which should be more than applied factor tensor. So this is very important, that is the design check that you have to always you verify. Okay, T is applied tensile forces. What tensile force is applied? So that you know, and this is a design tensile capacity of the plate. Means so tensile capacity of the plate should be more than applied tensile forces. So that is a design criteria of the plate that you have to always verify. If it is less, then what happened? If T applied tensile force more than PD, then what happened? Then what does it mean? It means the tensile, so the member is failed due to tensile forces. Okay, so this should not be happen in no circumstances. This should not be happen. So always you design the member in such a way so that the capacity tensile tensile capacity of the member should be more than applied tensile forces. That you have to check, that you have to verify. I mean that you have to verify properly. So use for net sectional failure, section failure, use this formula 0.9 times net area in Fu, and gamma m1 is the partial factor of safety for failure at ultimate stress. That I have already explained. An is the net area of the plate, which is B minus n times diameter of hole into T. dh is the diameter of hole, which is equal to nominal diameter of bolt plus clearance of hole. Number of holes, so here minus used, but this will be plus. Okay, it is by mistake minus I have used minus, but it is a plus. Okay, n is the number of holes along width perpendicular to the direction of load. Width of plate, T is the thickness of plate, gamma m1 is the 1.25 from table 5. Now see the notes. The strength of joint reduced due to the bolt holes, that I have said many times. So the reduction in area due to bolt hole can be minimized by arranging a zigzag form or diamond form. So zigzag pattern or diamond pattern minimize the area, minimize the net area. So and it will give a more strength than chain bolting, and so that's why it is more efficient. A zigzag or diamond bolting pattern is more efficient. That strength can be increased. Strength is also increased. So the reference given IS 800/2007. In table 5, the factor of safety given. Clause number, go to clause number, see the clause number 6.3.1, and these provisions you read properly to design the members for tensile forces. Well, now I am going to discuss a few examples on design of tensor member. So this is example T1.1. Determine the minimum net area of the plate as shown in figure 3 and 4 with a plate size of 210 into 8 mm and 16 mm boards. Now you look at look at this figure 3. So this type of bolting pattern is called chain bolting. uh, Now you see that the end distance are given 30. So this distance is called gauge distance G, and the distance between two consecutive bolt in the direction of force uh, is called pitch. So pitch distance is given, that is P. Now this plate is you know that this is a gusset plate. So this plate is joined on gusset plate using M16 bolt. Okay, using M16 bolt. Width of plate is 210 and thickness of plate is 8 mm. Now look at the figure 4. See the figure 4. Here the staggered bolting patterns are staggered or zigzag bolting patterns are used to for connection plate and gusset plate, between plate and gusset plate. So this is a gusset plate, and now look at figure 4 in staggered or zigzag bolting pattern. So here the gauge distance given that is 50, and pitch distance given 45 and 40, end distance given 30, width of plate is 210, and here also tensile force is applied. So the two figures are considered. One is chain bolting patterns, chain bolting connections. Another is zigzag bolting connections are considered, and you have to find out the minimum net area of the plate. Now first we consider chain bolting pattern in figure 3. Now for a 16 mm bolt hole diameter, for a 16 mm bolt, the hole diameter is how much? The 2 is standard clearance is used 2 mm, and the hole diameter is 18 mm. Now the net area along 1 okay, you see that net area, because due to presence of hole, the area of the plate is reduced due to making hole. So the area is reduced, cross sectional area is reduced. So hence so you have to find out the net area of the plate. So use this formula B minus NDH into T. T is the thickness of plate. So net area of the plate along 1 is how much? 1104 square millimeter. Now you come to the zigzag bolting pattern. Now the stagger length correction is how much? That is Pi square by 4Gi. Now the next, so the in zigzag pattern, the different possible failure path may take place. So in different line it may fail. So in different path it may fail, different cross section it may fail. So you have to find the possible failure path, and minimum you have to provide uh, minimum area you have to consider for calculating the net area of the plate. So the possible failure path for zigzag bolting pattern, so path AB and FG. So you see that it may fail along this line, or either along this line or along this line. Okay, so if I consider this failure path along this line, if it fail, then the 2 bolt area, 2 bolt hole area you have to deduct, you have to minus from gross area, and bolt is marking. So this is a bolt A, number of bolting is marked. So this one is a bolt A, this one is a bolt B, this is FG, this bolt is has name C, D, E. So the net area is how much? So simple, this is a chain bolting, or the bolt are in same line, so that's why we just, here there is no stagger corrections are used. So so we just width is subtracted, width of plate is 210 is subtracted, minus 2 times 18 dia hole. Okay, diameter of the hole is 18, so this area you have to deduct from width and multiply thickness of plate and get the net area. So net area is 1392 square millimeter. Next we see the failure path, possible failure path CDE, 3 hole. Okay, so you see that along this line the 3 hole are used, 3 bolts are used. So 3 bolts means 3 hole area you have to subtract from the gross area. So along this line it may fail. This is also, these 3 bolts are in same line, so we find 210 width minus 3 number of bolts into 18 into 8, so we get 1248 millimeter square area. Next, the another possible failure path ACDE, 4 bolts and 1 stagger. So you see that along this line A, C, D, E. Okay, along this line the failure may occur. So along this line the plate may be rupture may take place. Okay, the tear out take place along this line, plate may tear along this line. So this failure path having 4 bolt hole. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 stagger. So we use the formula 210 minus 4 into 80 plus 45, because the pi square 1 stagger, so piece distance is 45 and gauge distance is 50. So we find 1185 square millimeter. Another possible failure path FCD, 4 hole and 1 stagger. You see the failure path FCD, FCDE. So along this line the failure may take place, the rupture may take place. So here how many holes? 4 holes and 1 stagger. Okay, so we calculate the net area using the formula. Again, along ACG or FCB, 3 holes and 2 stagger may failure take place. So ACG means Now you see that ACG means the along this line failure may take place. Okay, along this line failure may take, rupture take place. So here how many holes are used? So 1, 2, 3 holes, and how many stagger? 2 stagger. So these 2 stagger diagonal path, path between two bolts. So this is stagger. So 2 stagger and 3 holes. So 3 holes and 2 staggers. So we get the area, net area is how much? 1393. Similarly, the path FCG 3 hole and 2 stagger, we get area 1376 square millimeter. Now the minimum net area is for path FCD. So which path has minimum area? You see that this is FC D 4 hole and 1 stagger. So this path gives the minimum area. So that's why this minimum area you have to consider to find the tensile strength of the member. So remember that the minimum net area occurs across at a path which has the maximum number of holes and minimum number of stagger. So so in this example we have observed that the net area, the minimum net area comes which has the maximum number of hole and minimum number of stagger. So this point you very important point you remember, because the in connection by seeing this the connection we can identify, we can choose the critical path of any connection. So which has the maximum number of hole and minimum number of stagger. Now another type of example I am going to discuss. This is example T1.2. Determine the design tensile strength of plate 160 into 8 connected to 10 mm thick gusset plate using 16 mm bolt as shown in figure 5. If yield and ultimate stress of the steel used are 250 and 410 respectively. So you see that look at this figure 5. The plate is joined on gusset plate. The gusset plate thickness is 10 mm. The plate thickness is 8 mm. So you see that, so generally the member, the gusset plate thickness is more than the member joined on what members are joined on gusset plate. Okay, so in this way we choose the gusset plate thickness. So either it is equal or more than connecting members. So we are using the 16 dia bolt. So bolt diameter is M16 bolt are used. The bolt are marking one. This is bolt marking of bolting. Bolt is marked in this way: 1, 2, 3. Then again 2, 1. End distance given 30. Then this is a gauge distance 25. Piece distance given 40 and edge distance given 30. Width of plate is 160. Thickness of member is 8 mm. So tensile force is applied. So what you have to find out? You have to find out the design tensile capacity of the member. So what data are given? You see that Fy yield stress given, ultimate stress given 16 mm diabolt, the hole diameter is 18 mm, net area along 1 So we have to we have to determine the minimum area, because the the several possible failure path uh, several failure path may occur. So you have to find out the critical path which has minimum area, so that you have to find out, and this area will be considered, this area is used to find the capacity of the tensile capacity of the member. So first we uh, see the failure path, possible failure path along 1 So along 1 how many bolts are used? 3 bolts are used. So the 3 times diameter of the hole you multiply and subtract it from width, we get 848 square millimeter area. Next we consider the path 1 2 2 1. So along this line it may fail, 1 2 2 1. So here how many holes are used? So 1 2 3 4 holes are used, and how many staggers? 1 2. So 2 stagger you have to add. So net area we calculate. So this is 2 into, because the 2 staggers, so we get the area 960 square millimeter. Now again another failure path, another possible failure path 1 2 3 2 1, 5 holes and 4 stagger. So 1 2 3 2 1. So along this line failure may occur. So along this line, the what is the net area, that you have to calculate. So here 5 holes and 4 stagger. So we get the area 1072 square millimeter. So obviously the minimum area you have to consider. So you see that along this path, if the connection is failed under tension, then along this line the failure occur, which has 4 holes and 2 stagger, 1 2 2 1. So this area no, this is not correct. So this area you have to consider, the minimum area, this area you have to consider. So if the member is failed, then along this line the failure occur, the rupture occur. So first we find the yielding of gross section, where the gross area is considered without hole. So Ag into Fy by gamma m naught. Okay, the factor of safety is 1.10. You see that this factor of safety, resistance governed by yielding gamma m naught, the factor of safety is 1.10. So 1.10 is used. Ag is the gross area without hole. Next we find the rupture of net section. Okay, net area is considered, and minimum net area you have to consider. So which is 0.9 into 848, 410 is the ultimate tensile strength, and for rupture strength the ultimate tensile strength is considered and ultimate strength is considered, and factor of safety used 1.25. You see that resistance governed by ultimate stress gamma m1 is how much? 1.25. So the design, so the net tensile strength is how much? 250.33. So minimum AN is this is a critical path is used to determine rupture strength. So An is equal to 848 square millimeter. Therefore, the design of tensile strength of the plate is 250.33 kilonewton. Now you see that the minimum you have to provide. So we have checked the cross section failure, another is net section failure. So the minimum you have to adopt to find the tensile capacity of the plate. So this is, so minimum means the net sectional rupture give the minimum value, so the 250.33. Now the check for minimum edge distance. So provided edge and end distance is 30 mm, which is more than 1.5 times 18. Okay, so again this is given. So you see the bolting connection, the lectures I have already uploaded in YouTube. So you see the lectures, the edge and end distance, the codal provisions given. So which verify the what distance are used, whether it follow the codal provisions or not, that you have to check. So as an engineer, you always follow the you always follow the code. So hence the edge distance is an required. So hence the end distance is sufficient. Okay. So here I end my lectures. Thank you.